Investigators are re-examining evidence in the 1987 homicide of 75-year-old Noah Breaux. Though the case went cold decades ago, detectives and family are confident the killer will be identified. Our Jillian joins us live with the story.
For nearly 30 years, detectives and family have been asking who could kill an elderly man, then set his house on fire. Well, we spoke to those still looking for the answer to who killed Noah Breaux.
When I see this picture, I see a bouret game going on and Papa saying, "Dog slam the screen door!"
Tina Breaux Savoy always pictured her grandfather teaching her son how to fish.
You know, you see these things on TV, but they're never going to happen to you.
Life changed the morning of March 15th, 1987.
Papa's house is on fire, and they think that he might have been in it, and he may be, deceased.
Sue Breaux called to tell her daughter, 75-year-old Noah Breaux, died.
I was the other bedroom.
What she didn't know at the time, Breaux was dead before the fire started.
Had injuries that were not consistent with the house fire, thermal injuries, or with injuries that were consistent with smoke inhalation. Mr. Breaux, in actuality, died of injuries more consistent with blunt force trauma.
Intracranial hemorrhages
with multiple skull fractures.
Breaux was beaten to death.
Round type of object like a bat, a piece of wood, or stick.
The murder weapon never found.
The fire was an attempt to cover up the original homicide. The criminals are pretty good, but they're not quite as good as they think they are.
Some evidence was left behind. The same evidence Lake Charles police detectives are retesting decades later.
There are things in this case that we can't release to the public. The suspect in this case knows what we're talking about. We have some evidence that we're hopeful that will result in some type of arrest and possibly a conviction in this. It's just a matter of time before our investigators can sift through that information and make that determination.
Police say a statement from a witness led to the arrest of Breaux's granddaughter, Vera Lighthead, and her boyfriend, Harry Richard. But when the source changed her story, the charges were dropped.
It stopped the investigation because this person recanted it. It puts a lot of police effort in a direction that may or may not need to be if this person was lying, and we don't know that yet. Revisiting all of that, and that is everyone that talked to the police, everyone that made statements, true or false, and to allow our investigators and science determine what is fact.
While every shred of evidence is looked over again decades later, Breaux's family is left wondering.
The only thing that went through my head is who could possibly have done something so hideous. If they would come out and say who, what, when, or where, we'd forgive them.
And just like investigators, they know someone out there knows something.
People that also know about this that may not even been part of it, that know of it, they share this guilt. Nothing on this earth that whoever did this can do to repay what they did.
Investigators are confident that a conviction is not only possible, but with new testing, justice could be served soon. At your service live in Lake Charles, Jillian, KPLC 7 News.
Investigation continues into a 29-year-old cold case homicide in Lake Charles. We told you the case was being reinvestigated back in January, but this week the body of Noah Breaux was exhumed for additional testing. Could the case soon be solved? Jillian reports.
They've got to know that the police department are on their heels.
Daughter-in-law of Noah Breaux, Sue has said before she hopes the person or people responsible for his death don't get any sleep tonight.
I still feel the same way. Few restless nights.
Noah Breaux was 75 when he was found dead inside his home in March 1987. The house had been set on fire, but the coroner's office concluded Breaux was killed before the fire sparked.
I've always been taught that whatever you do, you step up, you say, I did it.
For nearly 30 years, Breaux's family has hoped a suspect would confess. But with no one claiming responsibility yet, Lake Charles Police and the coroner's office are making an uncommon move.
We have done some exhumations in the past. They are very, very uncommon.
Not knowing exactly what new information they'll find, this week investigators exhumed the body of Noah Breaux.
Hopes that this new inquiry will yield some evidence in helping us solve this case.
New samples taken this week are undergoing testing using the latest methods.
With the latest advances in technology, we feel that we'll be able to gather valuable evidence off the body.
Breaux's body was returned to the cemetery, an emotional time for his family.
I mean, that's going to the same man's funeral twice.
Sue says it's worth it, though, that maybe it will bring the investigation one step closer to being solved. At your service, Jillian Corder, KPLC 7 News.
The Calcasieu Parish Coroner's Office has done exhumations before that have led to new evidence. In Breaux's case, they are confident something will be found. An arrest today in a decades-old cold case. After almost 30 years of searching, Lake Charles police say they have Noah Breaux's killer in custody. Jillian Carter first spotlighted the case in January and has the latest.
And we just got the best Christmas gift we could ever get.
Sue and Charles Breaux got the call they've been waiting for.
We're glad to announce today that there was an arrest.
53-year-old Harry James Richard has been charged with first-degree murder in Noah Breaux's March 1987 death. Breaux was 75 years old when he was killed, beaten to death, then his house set on fire.
It gives us satisfaction to sit down with the family in my office and tell them what happened and to see some relief in their faces and to try to bring closure.
30 years. And finally, someone has been arrested for his death.
This actually isn't the first arrest in this case. Richard and his then-girlfriend Vera Lighthead, Breaux's own granddaughter, were charged with first-degree murder in his death just months after the killing. Police say the charges were dropped after a witness recanted testimony and there wasn't sufficient evidence to prosecute. But the Breaux always believed the couple was involved.
Well, I knew it was him, and I think she helped set the house on fire. But she's deceased now, so you gotta forgive the deceased.
Investigators exhumed Breaux's body in August in search of answers. Details of what was discovered haven't been released. Breaux's family is grateful investigators have been able to get them one step closer to closure, but they aren't going to celebrate just yet.
I know they got him arrested, but they did that 30 years ago and let him go. Whenever he gets convicted, then I'll feel great.
While they now have an answer to who did it, the Breaux are still wondering.
Why? Why? This man was 75 years old. Why would somebody kill a 75-year-old man?
Hopefully one day, that question will be answered as well. At your service, Jillian Corder, KPLC 7 News.
We're told upon arrest, Richard evoked his right to an attorney. He's being held on $1.1 million bond.